Yes people, welcome back to another video. So I'm back in Snowdonia again this week. I've got everything on my back to survive a winter's night in the Welsh mountains. I'm heading up to the summit of Wygarn. I've got some banging scran to cook later on, and as always I'll be looking for somewhere to do a wild camp. Oh, it's a different world up here. Well, it looks like I've lost my drone. Critical landing. Obviously, I've left my tent. I've got a power bank with me, water with me, head torch with me in case it does get dark. There's only me that can pitch up 4 hours before sunset and then still end up hiking it dark. This is absolutely bonkers. Yeah, the wind's coming in. I don't like that. What's going on? Nearly setting fire to the goddamn place. Like there is just a sheer drop. It's looking a little bit cloudy now up on tops, but it's forecast to clear up later on. So hopefully it's true to its word. I can imagine this area getting really busy in summer. People having a swim and that. It is a shame all snow's gone though. I were only here a couple of weeks ago and all this area had been covered. We've had so much rain this past 2 weeks, it's just all washed away. And it is a little bit warmer. What a view. Getting a lot steeper now. Seems like a pretty well built path though so far. Might change nearer the top, that's to be expected. So you can see down into Lynn Ogwen down there. On the actual road there's a little lay-by car park sort of thing, and that's where I've parked. And it is free as well, which is always a good thing, but I'm guessing it fills up pretty quick. Nice. Mate, that backdrop, f***ing unreal. You must take time to just stop and look back every now and then, admire the views and get your breath back. So you see those drips there? That's your main water source, that. So if you need to fill up, that's where you fill up from. So the sun is trying to make an appearance. It's just hiding behind those clouds there. And you can actually see bits of snow near the top where it's not quite melted yet. So we're not quite at the summit yet, but I bet a few people have pitched here. Lovely little flat spot with that epic view. So I like this spot that much that I'm actually going to stop and have a little dinner break. So I've got a Cajun spiced chicken bake, probably better hot, but obviously I'm just going to have it cold. But it'll do the job with this epic view. Got some weird beans in this, the massive black turtle beans. What's a turtle bean? Can't say I've ever had one of them before, not knowingly anyway. Decent though. nice bit of spice. Then winds are picking up a little bit. Now we're getting higher. Getting pretty cold as well. You've probably noticed I've got a waterproof on my back. So I'm going to use that as a bit of a windbreak soon. Do not want to lose this cap. Oh, them clouds are rolling in. Nearly there as well. This section's steep, you know. Whew. Great leg burner. All loose as well. It's not quite scrambly hands, but not far off. There's only me that can look at a cloud-free summit all day and then nearly get to the summit and all cloud comes rolling in. But the winds are moving the clouds pretty fast, so hopefully just brush it past and I'll be able to see. Hey up. We've got a bit of snow. Oh, it's a different world up here. The wind's coming in. So I've been to the top of Wygarn, and then from up there I could see this little ridge section sticking out. So I've come down to check it out, and I think I might actually pitch on here. I may regret that later. Like I said, there's some heavy wind forecast, but the ground seems pretty good and there's loads of rocks, so I can put them on top of the delta pegs. So I reckon we'll be all good. Now it's just a case of finding the best flat spot so I can put my tent down. It probably would get in there. It's a little bit sloped. You might not be able to tell on camera. And this big lump here might offer me a bit of protection from the wind, depending on which way the wind's forecast, but I will check that out. At the moment it's just gusts. The actual standard wind isn't too bad, as you can tell right now. There's nothing, and then all of a sudden you just get some big gustavos coming through. Do you know what? The sun's out. The sun is coming out. The sun has got his hat on. Hip 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 hooray. The sun has just shone a nice light in the exact spot that I were contemplating pitching on. I think that's a sign. Another great feature of the Berghaus Panamax is this bottom compartment. Micro spikes, I take them on every winter camp. Even if there's no snow or ice forecast, it can easily get down to minus temperatures, and any bits of water on the paths are just going to freeze over. So for the sake of whatever they weigh, I bang them in my winter kit every time. Delta pegs, because you know you're going to need them straight away, so I keep them in the bottom compartment. And then here's the main event, the tent. So I keep the ground sheet, the inner of the tent and the fly sheet all attached together, and then they all get kept in this Carrymore dry bag. And there we have it, people, all pitched up. HILLEBERG SOULO Black Label, and wow, look at these views. Look at these views. Loving it. So if you're thinking of buying the HILLEBERG SOULO, if you're not bothered about that little bit extra weight, I think it's 400 grams more, I'd go for the Black Label. Obviously, and it's a bit more pricey, but it's worth it in my opinion. So it's one of them, if you've already got a SOULO Red Label, it's not really worth the upgrade. But if you've got neither and you're wanting to buy a SOULO, you're not bothered about that little bit of extra weight and that little bit of extra dough, then just go for the black label. A lot of people probably say it's a bit overkill for sort of UK weather, but it's kept me safe in some pretty gnarly conditions, I'll be honest. Money well spent for me. And the room inside it may seem small, but because you can fully unzip the inner, it just opens it up a lot more. So you've got a lot of sort of ground space. You can put your pack down here, you can do your bits of cooking in vestibule. And because we're in winter and there's no midges or all like that flying about bothering me, I usually just leave it open even when I go to sleep, unless there's a little mouse. All right, John. So my tent's there. I think it's time to go sit somewhere and have this butty. I've got a triple decker, mate. Come on, triple. Sausage, bacon and egg breakfast sandwich. Well, it looks like I've lost my drone. Critical landing. No way. I'm just hoping it lands somewhere where I can get it tomorrow. So what have time to go down now? So the last place, I can see that little triangle of water on the floor. We've got an hour and 40 of daylight left. I'm off to look for this drone. Obviously I've left my tent. I've got a power bank with me, water with me, head torch with me in case it does get dark. Seems a long way away, and I've got to go down this bloody Devil's Butt Crack, whatever it's called, which is what we're going to do tomorrow. Oh, it's all part of the adventure, innit? Some lovely spots to camp around here. So I'm up on that ridge there. That's where my tent is. What a day though, eh? Look at these conditions. Spot on. I've had to unzip this down jacket because I don't want to be overheating. I might even end up taking it off at way up. But I definitely had to bring it just in case there's a safety call. So it's near. There's a little triangle there, triangle of water. That's where I last seen it when it were emergency landing. Hopefully not in the water. Pretty mental this. There is a path though, but it's not too bad. It's just making sure you stick to it. So downcoat's come off because I'm starting to sweat a bit now, because they're not really for hiking in. And obviously I'm moving at quite a bit of a speed, or I was. But we're nearly at the bottom of the ascent now. So we've done that in really good time. Now it's just a case of following the path across to that little triangle of water. I hope I find it. Right, more or less level with that Lynn now. So that's that little triangle of water. That's where it says the drone landed. Or that's when it was last had connection anyway. I'm there. So I need to head that way. Would be up.
2,000 years later.
Hello there, wee fella. Am I glad to see you? Not in one piece. May I add? Camera's hanging off. Cracked. Propellers are all good. But most importantly, we've got the SD card. So we've got what we recorded. Yes! Yeah, boy. Now let me get back up this mountain. Devil's bloody whatever it's called. Devil's Butt Creek. I just seen someone walking down path that I went up earlier. I zoomed in on iPhone and make sure they've not got a burg house on the back. Someone could have cleared me out. What a lovely night, I must say. Long way to go yet. Need to get to the top of there, sort of. Oh, glad to see this, because it means I'm nearly at the top. Just filled my water bottle back up from that bit of water there trickling out at rock. It's not filtered, but I'm sure it'll be alright. Tastes good enough anyway. I completely forgot it was forecast to be windy as hell. Oh. There's only me that can pitch up 4 hours before sunset and then still end up hiking it dark. It's absolutely bonkers. Get me in that tent. Well, that's the visibility. But I'm back. Oh, that was pretty mental, that. Well, looks like the gimbal's snapped on the drone. You won't be able to see that. I'll get a close-up shot now on iPhone. Oh dear, oh dear. Hopefully it's repairable. I don't know. At least I've got the footage off it though. Yeah, the wind's coming in. And there you go, a nice silent, relaxing brew on the go. Well, it would be silent. There we are, that's just about boiled for me. The scariest thing about these is putting them out. Shit, I don't like that. What's going on? Thank you. Jeez. Nearly setting fire to the goddamn place. Yeah, I don't use these too often, mate. They scare me. Stick with good old gas. Right guys, so scran for tonight, it's going to be pretty simple. I've got a steak medallion which I'm going to shred up into smaller pieces, and to go with that I've got an oriental style stir fry, looking a bit manky, as is the mushrooms that I've brought as well. I'm going to cut them up and put them in, and then to go with all that I've got a nice katsu curry stir fry sauce. So basically it's a steak stir fry with katsu curry. I reckon that'll be pretty nice, and it'll all be pretty quick as well. Right, so the steak's all chopped up now. Please excuse the wind noise, there's nothing I can do about that. I've got some seasoning to put on. I think I'm just going to put salt and pepper on it. I've got a little mix of salt and pepper pre-mixed in there, and I'm just going to leave these spices because I've got the katsu sauce. Plenty of salt and pepper. Quite a lot of salt and pepper actually. In fact, yeah, why not? I'll put a tiny bit of seasoning on it. Not much. That'll do. Right then, let's get this show on the road. Tent is well ventilated. Got half of the top half of the tent unzipped. Shit like that. Right, I'm not going to use all of this, it's pointless. It's just not going to fit in that pan. I am going to use all the steak though. And then in with the steak. And then I've also got a nice generous knob of butter just to drop in. I actually froze that last night just so it doesn't all leak all over the place. Put it in some tin foil. And then finally, in with the katsu curry sauce. And there it is, bon appetitio. What a scran that will be. Won't be happy if I get it on firm rest though. Right, first little taste test. Bit of steak. Oh my days. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Red hot though, that sauce. Right guys, you know what? I'm gonna scran this and then I'll bring you back in a bit. I absolutely demolished that. What a meal. So I've just come out to check the guy lines, make sure that they're all intact. Give them a little tighten up now, tents had time to settle. Not too much though, a nice bit of slack in them. As long as they're not going to come out. So I'll just go around, check each one. If the peg's not budged, I won't mess with it. Just a tiny little bit of tension. It's good. All good, not budging. Same with that one. Pegs are in properly, are they? Yep. Right, so I'm satisfied with that. You definitely don't want to tension this one too much because that'll put a lot more strain on the zip as you're opening and closing it. So if you're struggling to close your zip at any point, it might be because these are too tight. So make sure when you are guying them out, you close your door first. And although I'm on sort of a exposed ridge, like there is just a sheer drop, more or less the same at that side. Because the wind is blowing southwest, it's coming from up there. And I'm getting a lot of shelter from this rock. Right peeps, it's about 12:30, so I'm going to try and get some shut-eye now. That wind has actually calmed down quite a bit, so hopefully I'll get a decent sleep. And after messing about going up and down this place multiple times just to get that drone, I need some good rest. So I'll bring you back in the morning, and I've got an epic little breakfast. A little Welsh classic in the morning, which I'm really looking forward to. Right, peace out, in a biatch. It is 3:20 AM. Just woke up to them big Gustavos ripping through. I can hear it howling far away, and then all of a sudden it obviously travelled. Bang, it's this scent. Shaking Stevens, man. Oh. I just hope I can get back to sleep, but I thought I'd better get a bit of footage of it. You know what it's like? Morning, YouTube. Well, morning Sherpas, Gurkhas, twerkers. Not the greatest sleep, if I'm honest. Just got kettle on. Gonna have a nice latte, wake me up a bit. It's about 8:05, so it's supposed to be sunrise, 8 o'clock. Uklag. But we had good visibility yesterday, so I can't complain, can I? But yeah, I can just see clouds. And I've told you about some breakfast. A nice Welsh classic. Welsh cakes. So I've got a bit of butter to go with them. I think that'll be a nice little breakfast that. So I'm going to have this brew and then I'll crack some of these on. Yo, just actually cleared up a bit then. Beautiful out there. Getting clouds rolling in. And there we are, Welsh cakes. Instead of spreading butter on them, which is what I usually do, I've just cooked them in butter. So hopefully they'll have soaked up all that flavour. They look lovely then. Gone nice and crispy as well. Well, the weather can't make its mind up today. Bits of clag rolling in and out. Winds keep coming and going. Visibility's not looking too bad though. Once that clag pisses off a little bit. See, wind gusts. The bag's out. Everything's packed away. I've just got the Z-light mat inside there, which I'll strap to the bottom. And then obviously I've got to pack this tent away as well. all packed away, tents away, bags on. Let's get out of here. I'm really happy with this camp. Lovely location, and it was a relatively flat spot as well. I didn't notice any issues anyway, no sliding or out. Right, let's work our way back down. I'll be glad to get out of this wind once we start dropping down a little bit. Oh, it's much better. Better take this hood off as well for a bit. I'm more or less bloody sprinting down here yesterday, but it's a lot slippier today. It's all damp. All rocks are really smooth as well. Look at that. Nothing. It's actually more grippier when you get to loose scree. Pretty mad really how all this has just sort of come tumbling down over years. Massive rocks. Bigger than bloody double-decker buses, some of these. Look at this in here. You could actually get under there. Not that I would. Carnage, mate. It's such a slow and steady walk down here. Got to be careful on every step because they're so slippery. So you can sort of see the full loop I did. I came from that direction in the valley. In the top right hand corner of that linn is that little bridge that I crossed yesterday, and then I followed it around and around back of this, if you know what I mean, up there, up on top of Wygarn, across Alt Tops and down this stone staircase. And now this time I'm going to follow the linn around this side and back down the valley. Nice to be back on a normal path for a little bit. Right guys, I'm nearly back at the car now, so it's probably a good time to wrap this one up here. If you've liked the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, drop a comment, hit subscribe if you've not done already. And if you don't know, I do weekly videos every Monday at 7 PM, so hopefully I'll see you at next one. Peace out, in a bit.